Well, here's an early morning hike to Moonshine Arch. Couldn't get all the way up to the trailhead, so had to park the car. There was a big sand area that I wasn't going to attempt. I'd end up getting stuck. So here's the trailhead. Here's some shots of the trail. This trail can be walked by foot or by sides, and you'll see in several places there's been side by sides and Jeeps that have tried the trail. So here we go. It's about a mile hike to get to the arch. There's some pretty technical areas for 4x4s to go over. I'm sure it'd be lots of fun if you had a 4x4 to use. Some of the views that you see as you're hiking along the trail, I tried to include a few of those. Some very bald spots, no sand, just rock. And from that spot you can see that view. That's probably the most difficult one for the four-wheelers, I guess. And that was a very spectacular view. And the arch is that way somewhere. So we're continuing on down the trail, around the curve, and then we are presented with this beautiful scenery. And here we are entering the Moonshine Arch area. It's not but about 50 yards to it from here. And there's your first glimpse of the arch. Really is not that spectacular from that angle, but from this angle, it is pretty impressive. So just to let you know, I did make it. I included that emoji. And then behind the arch is this other semi-arch and caves. I'm sure native people used this at one time. Beautiful view. It was early morning. There was no one else around. Very quiet, very peaceful. And there's the Navajo sandstone with the little flecks of mineral in it. It's the same sandstone you find at Antelope Canyon. Try to add a little video in here so you can get some perspective as to how high up this actually is. We'll look over the edge here in just a second. That's about 30 feet down. Now we're starting back down the trail, leaving the arch. These are some scenes of the trail headed downhill. We're leaving the arch. On these little videos, I've increased the speed to 1.5 times because it's going downhill. And here we start our way back. Okay, this is the dry wash that you cross. And then here's a formation before we get to the car. And that formation in the foreground has a particular name that I will not mention on this video, that you're welcome to look it up. Once we leave here, we get back to the car, we're going to travel to Dinosaur National Monument. That's the road on the way. And here you have Dinosaur National Monument. That's the Snake River that you see in the foreground, and Split Mountain in the background.
These layers have been uplifted and tilted. Because of this tilt, as we drive, we will be traveling back in time. The first layer we see is a dramatic ridge of sandstone. Look closely at this ridge, and you may see grooves or ripple marks. The sediment here was once a sandy shoreline along a shallow sea that covered this region. Try to imagine the many varieties of fish that lived here. Their scales and bones are found as fossils today. The grayish-purple rocks we pass next are from the Cretaceous period, about 104 million years ago. During this time, rivers, lakes, and floodplains covered the land. Dinosaurs also lived in this lush landscape, including a species of long-necked dinosaur, or sauropod, called Ibidosaurus mackintoshi. With bright bands of red and purple. It is famous for its density of dinosaur fossils from the Jurassic period, approximately 150 million years ago. Excavations of fossils began here in 1909 after paleontologist Earl Douglas discovered 8 exposed tailbones of a large sauropod dinosaur. Tons of fossils were removed from the quarry through various excavations, and today, over 1,500 bones. Please remain seated until the shuttle comes to a complete stop. You can start your visit to the quarry exhibit hall by walking up the ramp and entering the second floor doors. Food, drinks other than water, smoking, and pets are not allowed inside. Rangers are available to answer any questions you may have, and ranger programs are scheduled throughout the day. Have a safe and enjoyable visit to Dinosaur National Monument.
As you can see, these river cobbles and the soil are not road fill. They're from an ancient river that flowed far above where the river is presently today, and that's about 500 feet above the floor, and we're at 5,000 feet in elevation. Thank you for watching. We'll be traveling across Rocky Mountain National Park tomorrow.